The other day in the Hemicycle I had a little bit of run-in with Charlie McCreevy, who of course is the Financial Commissioner, and I've been in correspondence with him, as I said in my speech in the Hemicycle, now for nearly 2 years, on whether the Financial Service Authority in the United Kingdom is not actually driving a coach and horses through Article 6 and Article 7 of the Human Rights Act. Let me put it to you, the viewer of this God's vision, to see what you think, regardless of whether you're in financial services or not. Now, the FSA in London, they make their own rules, they interpret their own rules, they adjudicate on their own rules in camera, so while they're adjudicating, that's done in secret. They don't even have to make very much of what they find common knowledge and why they've got there. They then keep whatever fine they might impose. There's no court of appeal. There's a judicial review, which of course just is a method of looking at whether they've applied their own rules with due diligence. It isn't any form of appeal as we would understand it in English law. Moreover, if they make a mistake, there's no recourse in common or statute law. So they can find themselves in a situation where they've made the most appalling mistakes, but of course they remain totally bomb-proof. And of course we've seen that with the disaster of the regulation of the banks, which has led to this terrible credit crunch in the UK, where banks have not been properly regulated. And there is a myth abroad at the moment that somehow the financial service industry has not been regulated. It's been regulated out of sight. Everything that is done in financial service is regulated. However, it's been the wrong sort of regulation. It's been box ticking. It's a tick in the right box. Nobody's interested whether the right advice is given or not. Now, this Financial Service Authority, of course, are in league with the government. They pretend that they're not a government they pretend they are a government organisation. The government pretends they're not a government organisation. And the whole thrust of the Financial Service Authority is to give more power to the already discredited banks. Now, I was a member of the Internal Consumer Affairs Committee. I've moved on to the Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee for the remainder of my term, and I'd just like to point out one or two facts here from the Financial Ombudsman Service. 59% of complaints by consumers are against banks, 14% are against life assurance companies, 11% general insurers, only 4% against independent financial advisors. Only 4%. A lot of that was orchestrated by the FSA themselves, and when it came to endowment mortgages. And if you take endowment mortgages out, it's down to 1.4. Now, I can't get any sense from Commissioner McCreevy. He put me onto Commissioner Frattini, who is human rights, and so the merry-go-round goes on. But I have suffered from this in the last couple of years myself, and I blame myself for not picking up stronger on this earlier. However, I'm picking up on it now, and I can tell you that if I get another 5-year term, I'm going to be like a Jack Russell with a bone. I'm going to be on their case day and night. I have devoted a lot of my time to small businesses, but it's been across the board. I'm changing that now. I'm going to devote my time to the misuse and the misappropriation, the misallocation of time on the wrong problems in financial services. So, if you will, this is an apology for not doing more in the last 5 years, but you can bet your bottom dollar in the next 5 years I'm going to do a hell of a sight more because I've suffered.